He won't talk to me. He barely even looks at me. I ask him about marriage therapy. He says he's not interested. I ask him about taking a vacation together. He says he's too busy. I ask him, does he want a divorce? He says he doesn't care what I do. I don't think he wants this marriage. And if he doesn't want it, neither do I. How can I convince him to choose divorce mediation if he won't even talk to me? Sincerely, tired of being ignored. Lenore, you being attorney mediator, you have to be a therapist in disguise too.
I do. I think that is part of my skill set. I'm a good listener, and I empathize with people, and I want to help them. So I guess that's a skill set that therapists have, and I certainly enjoy that aspect of what I do. Definitely. Gosh, this person, I think it's pretty clear what's going on, and I think in terms of this person, they probably would benefit from talking to somebody to process this themselves. And this is no way for anybody to live in a marriage, and if somebody doesn't want to participate and isn't happy being with you, then yes, I think it might be time to go. And if you do come to that conclusion that your marriage is for you is over and you want to move forward, I think mediation is definitely something that should be investigated, and that this person needs to do that investigation and then kind of talk to their spouse and say, listen, I don't think you're happy. I know I'm not happy. You don't want to go to therapy. You don't seem invested in our marriage. So maybe we should go our separate ways. And, I don't want this to be something where, either one of us feels that we're being taken advantage of. I've done this research on mediation. It seems like it would be a good option. Would you be willing to find out more about it in a consultation? I've found this mediator is, can we make an appointment? And if they say yes, great. And if they don't, then at some point, that person might have to draw a line in the sand and go the other route. Sometimes you can find an attorney who will be representing you, but could draft the marital settlement agreement up for you as a couple, sort of geared towards what you want, and see if the spouse will sign that. If they're totally disengaged, which I've had clients who have spouses that are like that.
How did you manage them if they're disengaged? Because mediation is designed to be somewhat collaborative, right? So
yes, well, actually, it wasn't mediation. I ended up just representing the one party, but the spouse that wasn't engaged, let the spouse I represented do everything anyway, all through the marriage. So she was a woman. She sold things, split things. Here's what I'm doing. And, and here's what I think we should do. And what do you think about that? And pushing it forward that way. So in effect, she self-mediated. It's not quite possible, but I don't have a lot of clients like that, but that was their dynamic, and that's how it played out. But
are you in some way able, we'll go to the next question in a second, but I'm curious, when a couple comes to you and there is a communication block, are you somehow able in the mediation process to bring about better communication?
Definitely, that's part of the training that you get in mediation. And certainly when things get heated or upsetting, sometimes I'll say, well, do you guys need a break? But a lot of times I'll say, when things get heated, I'll say, wait a second, wait. Let me tell you what I'm hearing here. And I'll say, I think I hear, Bob saying this. Am I correct? Am I correct in that, Bob? Is that what you're trying to say here? And then I'll say, and Mary, I think I hear you saying this. Is that correct? Is that what I'm hearing you say? And then I might say, well, have the two of you thought about maybe this compromise? And how might that work for you, Bob? And how might that work for you, Mary? And then sometimes when they get their heels dug in with certain things, money is always a trigger. Some people just like, oh, I'm going to have to give you that money. But they came to mediation with the thought that, well, I want to do what's right for my child. And, I want to make sure that my child's taken care of. If they start getting, a twinge that they have to give somebody money that they're divorcing, I say, wait a second now. Step back. Why did you come into this process? You came into this process because the two of you want your children to be happy in both of your homes. And so the question is not giving each other money. The question is sharing the money that the two of you have so that your children are happy in each home. Because ultimately it's going to go to your children anyway, right? That's what you're saying to me. So it isn't that you're giving it to the other person. You're still giving it to your children. And those are the kind of things that I will say to reframe the situation for the parties, to put them in a different mindset, where they aren't as triggered.
So mediation doesn't necessarily mean that the couple has to get along. They're going through a divorce, but they have to get along. It could mean that they're not getting along, but they're willing to work things out without the court telling them what to do, right? Like they can cars and they can leave in separate cars and they don't have to sing kumbaya on their way to your office, right?
Right. In fact, most of the people that come in mediation, that's what it is. I mean, it's a way of learning how to talk to one another and come to a compromise, even if it's not as pleasant for them as they want it to be. I can think of maybe one couple that had done a lot of work recently, that they were good with one another, but they honestly will say, oh, 2 years ago, no, when we first split up, we were not like this. But most of the couples, yeah, there's heated moments, there's upsetment, there's emotion there. And it's to be expected. And what I always say is, expect the emotion, but don't let the emotion drive this process.